Good evening, and welcome to 19 Miles to Music Row. We're really glad you're here. On behalf of the 19 Miles of Committee, which is Bill Deaton, Jody Todd, Rusty Harmon, Cortland Fuqua, Denny Wayne Rudolph, and yours truly, Dan Keene. We warmly welcome you here. We're really glad you're here. Give yourselves a hand for showing up tonight. Yeah. Glad you're here. Very glad you're here. As a reminder, this is not a church event per se. It's a music event that happens in a church. And so, of course, we want to thank Franklin First United Methodist for this wonderful venue. The set looks killer. You know, it's just beautiful. The lights, the sound, Bill Deaton and his crew, Leland and Liam, make everybody look and sound so good. So it's just really appreciative that they provide this space for us to build community with each other. Another thing that happens here that I find interesting is a movie club. It's not again, it's similar to this in that all kinds of movies are watched. It's not a club to watch Christian films per se, but they meet once a month to watch a major film kind of through a Christian lens, talk about where do you see God there? Where do you see what's happening in regular films? So if you're looking for something else interesting to do, that's fun. Once a month, that's called Real Faith. And the church here does all kinds of really cool stuff to build community here in Franklin, Tennessee. So we're glad to be with you. And again, thank you for coming. There are snacks in the back. The restrooms are out in the lobby, and the exits, of course, out there and over here. Oxygen mask will drop from the seat. No, wait, that's not, sorry, I got confused here. As you know, if you've been here, we operate with the Bluebird model, which is okay. If you do see somebody that you're dying to talk to, that's wonderful. And there's plenty of space out there in the lobby or elsewhere to visit, and we hope you do. But in here, we're focused on the writers, and that's a big deal. The writers always leave expressing a lot of gratitude for the way they're treated by you folks. And it does matter. The way we have, you guys are smarter than the average bear. Anybody remember from your youth, Yogi Bear? And never mind, I'm dating myself. But you remember it, smarter than the average bear? Okay. Anyhow, you get it. That's what I'm trying to say. You get it. Here in Nashville, one of our gems, our hidden treasures from the rest of the world are these songwriters. And the fact that you tune in is a real big deal and makes this the event that it is. Per usual, we've got Act 1 here. We've got these 4 songwriters that I will introduce you to in a moment. And they'll play 3 songs each. We'll take a quick intermission to reset the stage, and then our hit maker, Tony Arata, will come up, and he will blow your mind. These guys will blow your mind, too. But Arata has a lot of great stories about songs that have been cut, his songs being cut by Garth Brooks and Dolly and all kinds of stuff. So you'll want to make sure you stick around for our hit maker, Tony Arata. From time to time, we also like to give you some kind of inside dope on what's going on, with music, how this whole thing works, And tonight, I want to share a little something with you, and it comes from the question, how do these songs get from the writer to the artist? The government, this comes from former Secretary of Commerce Mickey Cantor, the government estimates that 237 people touch an idea from the time it leaves a songwriter's brain and gets to the consumer. 237 different parties have touched the idea, which is pretty cool. And a critical component of that in terms of getting the song from the publishing company where the writers write to the artists and their representatives is a song plugger. How many of you have heard that term before? Anybody? Song plugger? It's a term that started in Tin Pan Alley back in New York City. Tin Pan Alley is the community that Music Row is kind of patterned after. This was at the turn of the last century when publishing companies didn't have any recordings yet, so they would try and entice people to come over for lunch or something to the publishing houses, and then they would plug the songs. They would play the songs live for show producers and things and plug or pitch the songs, all right? So we have those, and it's basically now a Nashville job. It happens a little bit in New York and LA, Atlanta, but not all that much. In Nashville, it happens a lot, where you've got these wonderfully talented, creative song pluggers who are pitching songs to the artist writers and their representatives. It's very competitive. And although doing things the Nashville way, we do support and treat each other well, but nonetheless very creative. You've got 10 to 13 slots on a record, and you've got hundreds of songs, hundreds of writers, hundreds of song pluggers trying to get these slots. So it's tough. And as a writer, as an artist becomes more and more successful, they get a little more insular about things. They insulate themselves from everybody, and so the song plugger has to find their way around closed doors, and people that are saying, "No, we've got all the songs we need. No, thank you. I don't need to hear yours," and work their way around. So you have to be real creative in your approach sometimes. I'll give you 2 examples. Chris Christopherson. Christopherson. Chris was a great writer, of course, before he became an artist and an actor. And he served in Vietnam. His dad was a general. And he wanted to pitch a song to Johnny Cash. And he couldn't get through Cash's people, just this closed door, because Chris wasn't Chris Christopherson yet. So what did he do? He used his skills as a helicopter pilot to land a helicopter on Johnny Cash's lawn, get out and hand him a cassette. Okay? Getting the job done, and it worked. Johnny got the song, they became good friends. And another legendary guy on Music Row is a friend of ours named Pat Finch. Pat worked really well for several different companies plugging songs. Pat is a guy, a male Pat. He heard about a female artist. There was going to be a gathering, a pitch meeting, they call it, with a female artist, all right? The publisher, publisher representative, the record label representative with the artist was also going to be female. They had invited only female song pluggers to pitch songs that female writers had written, okay? So they're trotting out this event, female only. Pat, not to be deterred, hid in the closet, found out where the room was that they were going to do this thing with all female, hid in the closet, all right, in drag. And at the appropriate time in the pitch meeting, opens the door, and he literally comes out of the closet, all right, to pitch a song to Joe DiMessina, was the artist, and he got on the record. So that's just a couple of examples of a fun little job and a little process that happens every day all around this town, where people are trying to pitch these great songs to great artists and get them cut. So now you know, right? Another benefit for showing up tonight. Yeah, thank you. So tonight, let's meet our writers, all righty? On your left is a lovely young lady from Boston, Massachusetts, and Julie Laverty. Yes. Lavery, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yep, that's right.
Julie Lavery.
Yeah.
You told me something about getting your start in musical theater.
I did, yeah. That's kind of how I got the bug for performing and singing. My mom signed us up for some community theater when we were really young, and I continued to do that all throughout college. And songwriting was something that I started, the first song I ever wrote, because I couldn't play an instrument, I just made up words and a melody, and I ran downstairs and sang it for my parents, and they were like, wow, that's actually...
They told you it was the best song ever written,
yeah,
right?
they were like, that's not bad.
That's
really
their job,
good.
man.
Yeah. So I ended up eventually learning how to play an instrument. I went to Berklee College of Music, and I majored in songwriting and performance.
Oh,
and so, yeah.
Good. How long have you been here?
I've only been here, it'll be a year in September.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Julie Lavery. Next to Julie is Daniel Mason. Some of you may know Daniel. He and Denny Wayne Rudolph had a band called Amber's Drive. That's right. That's right. Good band. Good, real good band of 3 stellar songwriters. And Daniel, let me see. You came here all the way from Paris, Kentucky, right? Hardy. How did music come into your life, pal? What? Is it family, or how'd you get into music?
Well, I was kind of introduced to music originally in the church, singing in youth choirs and things like that. But it wasn't until like I was in middle school, 7th grade, and I had a music class, and half of the semester was with these little like cheap plastic nylon guitars that they pulled out. And
Yeah.
they taught us how to play like a G chord with one string and four, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had some friends in the corner, and they're over there jamming on rock and roll music, man. They're already knowing how to play, and I'm like, I got to learn how to play like that. So I talked to my mom and dad into getting me a guitar. I was like 12, and played until my fingers bled. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
So, and then just, I don't know, the songwriting just kind of flowed out of that, and just grew up listening
Good.
to the
And
music
here
my
we
mom
are,
put in my
buddy.
head. Sir?
And here we are.
Here we are.
Daniel's busy every weekend, gigging with his band and other things. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Daniel Mason. I met Taylor Zabraki when she was in my class at Belmont University, my music publishing class. That's right. And she stood out. She's, as you can see, very bright and inquisitive, and was really plugged into the class. And you're from Florida.
Right. Florida. Bradenton, Florida.
Bradenton, that's right, Bradenton, Florida. What did you come into music through church, or how did it happen in your soul?
Yeah, so I was always around music, grew up in the church. I feel like music happened out of boredom. My parents didn't allow us to watch much TV. We were outdoors playing the mud kind of girls.
Time out, parents and grandparents, take note. No electronics, very little TV, voila, music star.
Might be a songwriter.
Yeah.
But I just always loved performing and music, and just sat down with an old guitar one day and started writing.
Yeah.
Here we are.
And here you are. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful story.
Thanks.
And next to Taylor, of course, is our good friend Mark Ham, who you've seen before. Oh, that's for Taylor. I'm sorry. Taylor, that's for you, babe. My bad, man.
You're good.
Mark Ham,
I thought the clap was for me. This is awesome.
yeah.
I didn't know I knew that many people. It's awesome.
And Mark, you grew up in a cool town, Rising Sun, Maryland.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how did the music come into your life in Maryland?
Pentecostal church, the Church of God that is affiliated with Lee University.
Uh-huh.
I grew up in that church in Maryland, and we didn't have sound systems, but the guy would get up and sing the guitar with a guitar, play guitar and sing, and then my grandmother played the piano, and I had two older brothers, and we just got pushed kind of into singing. And I was about 3 years old, and I was stood behind the pulpit so you couldn't see me, but I was very loud. And so my dad came up afterwards and raised me up and said, if you want to know where the loudmouth is.
There it is. Oh, that's sweet. What a sweet story. Well, this is going to be fun. Mark, how would you feel about, Mark Ham? I had one job. Mark, how would you feel about kicking us off, brother? You do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
So I'll preface all of my songs by saying I drive a lot, and so I have a lot of windshield time, and I don't listen to the radio very much, and that helps me write. And so most of my songs that I do tonight are because I drive. A lot of windshield time. This is a song that I co-wrote with a friend of mine named Zach Boblet, and I was humming this tune in my truck, driving, and just kept on singing, "Walk it back, baby, walk it back, baby." And I'm like, all right, so I started working on that, and played it for Zach a little bit, and he's like, yeah, let's do this one. So this is called "Walk It Back, Baby." Walk it back, baby. Walk it back, baby. First time I saw you, you had that red dress on. High heels, long legs, swinging like a metronome. Looking like that, well, it ought to be a crime, but the cuffs on me, baby, and I'll do my time. Walk it back, baby. Turn yourself around. Walk it back, baby. Let my heart off this merry-go-round. I'll be 24/7 at your beck and call. Take my house, take my money. You can have Walk it back, baby. Walk it back to me. Walk it back, baby, yeah. Walk it back, baby, yeah. Go and tell your mama you ain't coming home. Go and tell your daddy I'm your man and we don't need no chaperone. I need you alone, I don't share very well. It's just you and me, baby, there ain't nobody else. Walk it back, baby. Walk it back to me. Walk it back, baby. You got me on my knees. My fever is rising and love's burning hot. I know what I need and I need what you got. Walk it back, baby. Walk it back to me. Walk back, turn yourself around. Walk back, words all over town. Walk back, you know I'll treat you good. Walk back, just like you know I should. Walk it back, baby. Walk it back, baby, yeah. Walk it back, baby. Turn yourself around. Walk it back, baby. Words all over town. That your love's on fire and it can't be contained. I don't wanna put it out, just wanna add to the flame. Walk it back, baby. Walk it back, baby, yeah. Walk it back, baby. Turn yourself around. Walk it back, baby. Let my heart off this merry-go-round. This merry-go-round. Off this merry-go-round. Off this merry-go-round. Walk back. Thank you.
Try not to spill that. Hey guys, I'm Taylor. This song is called Just Like You, and I wrote it with my friends Zach Hale and Taylor Aiken.
Paint a billion stars and galaxies, to hang them in the places out of reach. That's just like you. That's just like you. To raise your sons and daughters out of dust, even though you knew we'd mess it up. That's just like you. That's just like you. There's never been one like you, mighty in the ways you move. All of heaven sings your praise and all creation joins the song. You're faithful till the end of time, glorious in your design. How could it be true that Jesus, heaven's King, would leave his throne? But that's just like you. To make Goliath fall with stone and sling, to take a shepherd boy and make him king. That's just like you. That's just like you. To make a crimson stain as white as snow, to walk out of the grave as living hope. Oh, that's just like you. That's just like you. There's never been You're faithful till the end of time, glorious in your design. How could it be true that Jesus, heaven's King, would leave his throne? But that's just like you. That's just like you. If you can calm a raging sea, you can calm the storm in me. If you can make the mountains move, I will cast my cares on you. If you can make the blind to see, then show me things I've never seen. I wanna see like you. If you can walk out of the grave, then Jesus help me do the same. I wanna see like you. God, I wanna be like you. There's never been one like you. Mighty in the ways you move. All of heaven sings your praise, and all creation joins the song. You're faithful till the end of time, glorious in your design. How could it be true that Jesus, heaven's King, would leave his throne? But that's just like you. That's just like you. That's just like you.
Thank you.
That was amazing. This song I'm going to do, this is a song, I wrote this song with a really great guy named Hal Odell. Just started writing with this guy a couple months back, and been writing some really cool stuff. Had this idea for a song, and the idea for a long time I had it. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Good Will Hunting, but in that movie he starts talking about his relationship with his wife, and he's talking about the little things that only she knows. And whether if you're dating somebody or married to somebody, you know that there's things that nobody else knows but your spouse. And this song's called She's Got the Goods on Me. She knows I like the right side of the bed. Black coffee is my morning cigarette. I sing so loud in the shower to the music in my head. That girl could write a book with all the things I forget. Yeah, she's got the goods on me. Yeah, she's got the goods on me. All the bones in my closet, every fear, every scar down underneath. She's got the goods on me. I like to sit and talk till closing time. And she'll take my keys on those double bourbon nights. And when we get home and we lay down and she turns out the lights, everything is alright. Yeah, she's got goods on me. Yeah, she's got the goods on me. All the bones in my closet, every fear, every scar down underneath. She's got the goods on me. Yeah, she's got goods on me. Yeah, she's got goods on me. All the bones in my closet, every scar, every fear down underneath. All the love in my heart, every hope, every dream, every fantasy. She got the goods on me. The goods on me. Thank you.
That was awesome. I'm going to do a relationship song too, but opposite end of the spectrum. This one's about splitting up and how it can be more difficult than it seems. It's called If You Want to Break Up. Feels like I'm always asking, honey, do and feels like you're always saying, honey, don't. Feels like we're never on the same page anymore. Well, it's been 10 long years, but we're still trying to make it work. So if you want to break up, you gotta call a judge. You gotta give up on true love and say goodbye to us. Gotta change your name and get back in the game. You gotta lie in the bed you made and drink through all the pain. Ooh, if you wanna break up. Last time you bought me flowers was in '08, and I never make you dinner if you get in late. If it's the small things that are making up the glue, well, we've come undone, but I'm still stuck with you. If you wanna break up, you gotta call a judge. You gotta give up on true love and say goodbye to us. Gotta change your name and get back in the game. You gotta lie in the bed you made and drink through all the pain. Ooh, if you wanna break up. And I'm not sure how I do on my own. Somehow you've been both a thorn in my side and a beautiful rose. So maybe, oh maybe we'll just see how it goes. 'Cause if you wanna break up, you gotta call a judge. You gotta give up on true love and say goodbye to us. Gotta change your name and get back in the game. You gotta lie in the bed you made and drink through all Thank you.
Keep on clapping. Anybody here from Wisconsin? Serious? You know you live in Nashville when you come to Franklin and you ask if somebody is from somewhere else. You don't ask if, hey, is anybody here from Franklin? Maybe that's what we should be asking, right? Hey, a native. Wow, strange. Where at in Wisconsin? Milwaukee? Nobody from Racine? All right, awesome. Well, I didn't write anything from Superior or Milwaukee, but Racine. There's an exit. I don't even know what interstate, because isn't Racine a suburb of Chicago? I know. Okay. Anyway, so I was driving down the freeway, and the exit said 7 Mile Road. I was like, well, that sounds like a song. So I've got windshield time. Remember, I prefaced all this. So I started working on 7 Mile Road. And I got part of it, and then I came back to Nashville and wrote with a friend of mine named Steve Freeman. And I said, hey, I think this is going to be a good, fast bluegrass song. And he goes, well, let me hear it. So I played him a little bit, and he goes, nah, this is a slow, feel-good song. I was like, okay, so let's make it feel good. So we wrote 7 Mile Road. And maybe if you close your eyes, you can actually picture all these things that you see on 7 Mile. I didn't even drive down the road. But honest to goodness, when you looked off the exit, I think you could actually see 7 miles. It was pretty flat and straight, so we'll see what comes out of that, right? There's a place they call 7 Mile Road, where the clouds are lined with silver, the fields are ripe with gold. There's an old white church. You can still hear that bell ring and believe it's still believing. The Sunday songs they sing, Amazing Grace, it's still saving those lost souls. Another reason I go back to 7 Mile Road. And oh, 7 Mile Road, the place where I was born, where I'll grow. It's the closest thing to heaven, that's what I've been told. Don't you wanna go down 7 Mile Road? Well, there's a place I call home, sweet home, underneath the weeping willows that line that old dirt road. There's a spot down by Johnson's Creek where me and Jenny carved our names in a heart on a sycamore tree. That old farmhouse Mom and Daddy never sold. Another reason I go back to 7 Mile Road. And oh, 7 Mile Road, the place where I was born, where I'll grow. It's the closest thing to heaven, that's what I've been told. And don't you wanna go down 7 Mile Road? 7 Mile Road, down 7 Mile Road, 7 Mile Road.
I wasn't planning on singing this song tonight. So I wrote the song a couple days ago. I had a different sad song ready for you guys, but I felt like this one needed to be heard. I don't really know how to start this story, to be honest. My sister gave me permission to share it. So last week, my sister, she was in the hospital. She's younger than me. She just got married. She's super happy, just lively. So they were trying to get pregnant, and they got pregnant. But unfortunately, they had an ectopic pregnancy. And if you catch it early, then the doctors can address it, and it shouldn't put you in harm. But still, it's sad. And sometimes, even if you do catch it early, there's a chance that your tube can rupture, and it can be incredibly dangerous. So that happened to her. Man, I'm so sorry, getting choked up. So she was in the hospital. They had to remove her tube, which they were hoping they didn't, but they did. And I just felt so helpless as an older sister, being here, and she's in Florida, and you're watching her younger sister go through this, and it's the most pain I've ever seen anyone in. I'm not kidding. It was agony, guys. It was so hard, like physically, but also just afterwards knowing she lost a child and having to walk through that pain as well. So I've just been thinking about that a lot this week, and how do you help someone through that? I'm not married. I don't have kids. I want help. I'm an older sister. So I've been praying for her a lot, but it just came down to doing what I know to do, and that's to write a song. So I wrote this song for her. I call it A Mother's Lullaby, for her own healing. And I don't know if you guys have walked through a similar situation or know someone that's walked through a similar situation, but the beautiful thing about my sister is her faith. In this entire process, she's just been claiming over and over again, God said, I'm going to have a baby. I just know I'm going to have a baby. That's a promise. And she trusts him still in this. And I think in these hard situations and circumstances that come in life, people either turn towards or turn away from God. And I'm just so encouraged that she's just running after him in this. And I think that's just beautiful and powerful. And I don't know if she's going to have a baby next year or years from now, but God promised Sarah and Abraham a baby, and they still got a baby. So I hope this song can be someone's healing song as well.
I don't understand it and don't think that I ever will. Why blessings like children are taken to heaven too soon. Why parents are left empty-handed, yet it can still be used for good. I don't think that I understand it, but I don't have to. I still trust you. I don't know your name, but I know that I'll know it someday. I can't wait until I get to see your nose, your eyes, your face. You're perfectly placed in the arms arms of the one who created you. With love as my anchor, the peace of the Savior fills this room. What he says he'll do. Sweet like honey, your love for me is sweet like honey. My soul believes you're still worthy of it all. Always faithful, your love for me is always faithful. My soul believes you are able to redeem what I have lost. I still trust you. What you say you'll do.
Man. This next song I'm going to do, wrote this song with Mark Ham, and Abby, am I going to say this right? Bastian. I got it. Mark Ham and Abby Bastian, we just were jamming around. I don't even remember how, we just like, you know, when you're in Nashville, you got to have one song about drinking. So, you know, this is my drinking song, I say. Well, we put a little twist on it, so it's a pretty fun song. But yeah, here it goes. It's called Intoxicated. Intoxicated with your love, and like a whiskey, can't drink you enough. 'Cause honey, you burn, but you go down smooth. I can't help myself, I need more of you. Call me a drunk, call me a fool, call me a no good addict, I can't help it, I'm hooked on you. Can't help what I wanted you, you're never enough. Intoxicated with your love. I can still taste you on my lips. I can't walk away, too hard to resist. 'Cause honey, you burn, but you go down smooth. I can't help myself, I need more of you. Call me a drunk, call me a fool, call me a no good addict, I can't help it, I'm hooked on you. And if what I wanted you, you're never enough. Intoxicated with your love. Call me a drunk, call me a fool, call me a no good addict, I can't help it, I'm hooked on you. And if what I wanted you, you're never enough. And if what I wanted you, you're never enough. Intoxicated with your love. Thank you.
All right. Next song I'm going to do for you guys, I wrote during the pandemic. I think we all probably felt like we wanted to escape at some point during that time. And that's what this song is about. It's called Rather Be High. I don't know if this is life, but just a simulation, someone's creation. Guess you could argue that's God, but I'm not sure if that's right. It's just an observation of this situation. I should call it a night, 'cause I don't wanna think anymore. My head is hurting worse than before. I'd rather be high. I'd rather be high. Higher than high. I'd rather be high. I'd rather be. Don't know what it's all about, but they keep implying that the truth is hiding in the winner takes all. So we're following a trail full of distractions and shiny attractions, but we don't notice what's real. Well, I don't wanna think anymore. My head is hurting worse than before. I'd rather be high. I'd rather be high. Higher than high. I'd rather be high. I'd rather be breathing in and letting go, lifting off into the unknown. I'd rather be high. I'd rather be high. Higher than high. I'd rather be high. I'd rather be. I'd rather be high. Thank you.
For my last driving song, I'm glad I wasn't driving when we wrote Intoxicated. Okay, let's see, where was I? I gotta figure out where I was. Somewhere between Elizabethtown, Kentucky and Bowling Green, Kentucky, there's a very small gas station. And I pulled in to get gas, imagine that. And you know when you pull in gas stations, you get out, and nowadays they have the TV screens and the music playing, and it's, you know, it's kind of like sound system, right? Well, I did that and got out and was listening to whatever was jamming. And in like a blink of an eye, this Isuzu Rodeo blares into the gas station, into a parking space, slams on the brakes, door flies open, this guy gets out, hat like this, hair everywhere, stuff on his boots, stuff on his car, because I think he just came from the farm, and his music from where he was about 60, 70 feet away was louder than the music on the overhead speaker that I was listening to. It just happened to be Hank Williams Jr. The guy ran into the store, and all he came out was with a 44-ounce big gulp drink, probably Mountain Dew. I didn't look at the back of his pants to see if there was a Skull pack in there or something, but, you know, he was just in and out. He had to have something, right? So he got back in the truck, sped away, and I'm through pumping gas in my work van, and I think to myself, crank a lot of Hank. That might be a song. And so I got in my truck and started writing Crank a Lot of Hank. And I brought it back, because it's not a long drive, right? Back to Nashville. And wrote it with two friends of mine, Gary Ciramelli, and a young lady by the name of Mackenzie Wasser, who has played here as well. Check her out, she's really awesome. And we finished this song called Crank a Lot of Hank. Sound man, would it be okay to turn Daniel's microphone on during this song? Because he sings a little bit of harmony every once in a while with me. Is that okay?
I'm not on. Oh, there I am.
There he is.
Hi.
You know, just if you feel it, because it's
Sure,
just,
man.
it's too fun.
I'll do
So this is, I will do in my very best attempt to sing Crank a Lot of Hank. Blew in like a whirlwind, looking like the dead end of it all. All beat up in a pickup truck, you should've never left the farm. Simple man, farmer's tan, living in his country state of mind. Bass bumping on the radio, thinking God, it's quitting time. He knows what he's gotta do to help himself unwind. A dip, a little dip. Honeybee, let me help you get your buzz on. Bite a little lip, no need to be uptight. Drink a little drink. 44 ounces gonna make you feel better. Spank a little spank when you know it just ain't right. Cash in the bank, gas in the tank, I'm good if you ain't. Crank a lot of Hank. Straight line route 29, Sunday sunset coming down. I gotta get back, gotta hit the sack, Monday morning's coming round. A rooster crows to let them know it's time to rise and grind. Can't wait till Friday late to grab that peace of mind. He knows what he's gotta do to help himself unwind. Dip a little dip. Honeybee, let me help you get your buzz on. Bite a little lip, no need to be uptight. Drink a little drink. 44 ounces gonna make you feel better. Spank a little spank when you know it just ain't right. Cash in the bank, gas in the tank, I'm good if you ain't. Crank a lot of Hank. True story. He knows what he's gotta do to help his peace of mind. Dip a little dip. Honeybee, let me help you get your buzz on. Bite a little lip, no need to be uptight. Drink a little drink. 44 ounces gonna make you feel better. Spank a little spank when you know it just ain't right. Cash in the bank, gas in the tank, I'm good if you ain't. Cash in the bank, gas in the tank, I'm good if you ain't. Crank a lot of Hank. Crank a lot of Hank. Crank a lot of Hank. Thank you. You can get that on all social medias, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. Fun song. Thank you so much. Thank you, 19 Miles and Sound Man. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. Oh man, this is so fun, guys. So I went over to my friend's house to write a song a couple weeks ago about this guy. I guess you could say I kind of dated because we weren't official, but we talked long enough to where honestly it should have been official. Long story short, it didn't work out. He said some pretty rude things, so praise God it didn't work out. Anyway, I went over to my friend's to write a song about the rude things he had said to me. Finished it, went home, was like, I'm gonna put this on social media. He follows me on social media, so here's my big old ballad for you. Anyway, I felt like he needed some sort of like warning. Not that it was a bad song about him, it was a total heartfelt, I love you, I miss you song, which, ugh. Anyway, felt like he needed some sort of warning that some big feelings were coming because that was something that he didn't like about me, was that I have a lot of emotions. So I put as the caption, big feelings alert, just to let him know. And after I posted that, I thought, I think that's a song title. So I wrote this song called Big Feelings. I used to date a boy who called me emotional, said I was a roller coaster. But I taught him how to live while he gave me thicker skin, 'cause his love was paper thin. While he was faulting me for feeling deep, I accepted who I'm made to be. Oh, I got some big feelings I ain't shying away from. I used to hide them, but now I embrace them. I don't have a reason to hold back, 'cause I love me exactly as I am, with all of my big feelings. I know where I'm at, don't need to wonder if I'm happy or I'm sad. I wear my heart on my sleeve, with all of my big feelings. I know the day will come when I finally meet someone who is happy to come undone with me. But until I meet that man, I'll find comfort in who I am. I won't change anything about me, 'cause all the boys who said I was too much, they just weren't the man I'm supposed to love. Oh, I've got some big feelings I ain't shying away from. I used to hide them, but now I embrace them. I don't have a reason to hold back. Someday someone will love me as I am, with all of my big feelings. He'll know where I'm at, don't need to wonder if I'm happy or I'm sad, 'cause I wear my heart on my sleeve, with all of my big feelings. And no, I'm not the girl who's scared of facing what I know is there. All these feelings are a part of me. And no, I'm not embarrassed of who I'm meant to be, because I'm exactly how I need to be. Oh, I've got some big feelings I ain't shying away from. Used to hide them, but now I embrace them. I don't have a reason to hold back, 'cause I love me exactly as I am, with all of my
my heart on my sleeve, with all of my big
Thanks. Don't wrong a songwriter, right?
Well, I want to say thank you so much to 19 Miles of Music for having me, and let me be a part of this. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It's been pretty crazy over the last year, and we're just now finally getting back to normal, and I'm sure everybody understands. But thank you for being here, because we can't do this without you. So thank you so much. I'm going to do a song. My last song is going to be, I was kind of going through 2 or 3 songs. I was like, man, what am I going to do last? But this song here, I like to sing the relatable type kind of songs. I wrote the song with Tim McGeary, a guy out of Florida. And he comes into Nashville off and on, and he's had some success. And we met at a writer's round and just got to know each other and started writing. We've been writing for years now, but we had this idea for a song. We got together at BMI, and we were writing around, and it's like, man, I'm just tired of things, tired of the way things change, and and this song, we kind of made it relatable. This song's about a guy that gets married to his wife, and his wife gets a job in the city. They live in the country, and he has to go to the city, and he's not used to the city, and things start happening. So this song's called Tired. Sold a farm 'cause you found a job in the city. One way to LA from Mississippi. Farewell to the southern life. We packed our bags and headed out. Bought a 4-story walker, double the rent. One window, rusty sink, a closet with a bed. Looking out at the train tracks, smokestacks, not much of a view. Oh, it's true. Yeah, I'm tired of this town with noisy city streets. I'm tired of this concrete. I need some grass beneath my feet. Yeah, I'm tired of this cell phone. I need a handshake and a face. Back porch conversation and shine on a summer's day. But the one thing I'm never gonna do is get tired of you. You can take me back home every now and then with that sweet potato pie and fried chicken. And when you wrap your arms around me, I surrender, I give in. Oh, sometimes you win. Yeah, I'm tired of this town with noisy city streets. I'm tired of this concrete. I need some grass beneath my feet. Yeah, I'm tired of this cell phone. I need a handshake and a face. Back porch conversation and shine on a summer's day. But the one thing I'm never gonna do is get tired of you. Oh, as long as As long as we're together, we'll call this a home. I've made a lot of mistakes, oh, but this ain't one. Oh, but sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'm tired of this town with noisy city streets. Tired of this concrete, I need some grass beneath my feet. Yeah, I'm tired of this cell phone, I need a handshake and a face. Back porch conversation and shine on a summer's day. But the one thing I'm never gonna do, oh, the one thing I'm never gonna do, oh, the one thing I'm never gonna do is get tired of you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Last song before Tony Arata comes out here, which is really exciting. It's been a pleasure playing here with all you guys. You're amazing. This was really awesome. Thank you. Sebastian, you killed it on the keys, too. I was like, he's a great player. Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. So anyway, this last song I'm going to do is called The Real One. It's just about being authentic to yourself. That's the best possible version of yourself. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and thanks so much for having me. You can say you're fires, baby, I'll fly higher, 'cause I'm not made of paper. I won't just burn up and be gone. Do you ever wonder why I won't go under? 'Cause I enjoy the pressure, making all those diamonds from coal. 'Cause I'm the real one, I'm the born none. You'll never outdo me, I'm never truly done. I'm the whole truth, I'm the real proof. I'm the evidence, yeah, I'm the smoking gun. Baby, I'm the real one. Go on, build your ceilings. You won't hurt my feelings, 'cause I know how to break them, but be prepared to walk on broken glass. 'Cause I'm the real one, I'm the born none. You'll never outdo me, I'm never truly done. I'm the whole truth, I'm the hard proof. I'm the evidence, yeah, I'm the smoking gun. Baby, I'm the real one. The signature that seals the deal, the broken heart that never heals, the lightning and the thunder crash, the rabbit that you'll never catch, the rabbit that you'll never catch. 'Cause I'm the real one, I'm the born none. You'll never outdo me, I'm never truly done.
real one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, thank you.
Mark, Taylor, Daniel, Julie, thank you very much. How about another hand for this great round? That was exceptional. Did you mention your keyboard player? Taylor.
Hello? Check. Can you hear me? No. Guys, my keyboard player, Sebastian, in the back. Can I tell you how incredible he is? Can you hold up your hand?
Hold it up, buddy.
He burned his hand the other day, I think yesterday, and he just played an incredible set like that.
That would be the great Sebastian.
My goodness, yes, Sebastian the Great.
Thank you, buddy. Good job. Yeah, that was exceptional, folks. Couple of things we're going to do. We take a quick break, as you know, to reset. But if you're so inclined, there's a donation box in the back to help support us. If you can do that, we'd appreciate that. There's merch for 19 Miles. And also, I think, Daniel, you've got some CDs here. Any of the rest of you? No? Okay, if you want to look during the break and meet them. And I think they're going to all hang around. You can meet them after, talk to them after the show, too. So we'll take a real quick break, and we'll be right back.
I found mountains. Yeah, that's perfect. We've done this before. Optimal word, raw. Yeah. Hey man, if I do that, it'll be the guitar. I'll hear the voice fine. Yeah, it'll be the guitar. Tell them there's going to be a raffle. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. If you'll make your way back to where you want to enjoy the next part of the show, that would be good, because we're ready for you. And boy, do we have a treat for you. First of all, it's been really fun for the writers tonight. Taylor Zabraki, one of them, said this is her first gig out since COVID, you know. So again, it means a lot to everybody that you folks have come out here tonight, and Tony Arata, who I'll introduce to you here in a second. When he and I saw each other, it was like, oh, we're back, you know, humans, live music. So really appreciate everybody being here, and we have a great surprise for you. This gentleman was born in Savannah, Georgia, raised on Tybee Island. Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Went to study journalism at Georgia Southern, and still works on things to this day, and it's just something he loves to do. He's got a gift for it. He has this really unique, soulful style, and he was discovered at a club in Atlanta. And folks at Noble Vision Records brought him here to record a record on him. Is that where you met Bill Deaton?
What's that now?
Was it doing the record for Noble Vision, or where did you and Bill Deaton meet? You know what I'm talking about, Bill, our sound man,
yeah,
or church?
It was prison.
Prison? Good. Sorry that parole thing didn't work out so hot for you guys. Okay. Anyway, Tony and Bill go way, way back, and maybe we'll hear some of those stories this evening. But he recorded a record. In fact, he's done 3 albums. He's had 2 chart hits from those endeavors. But he really found his love and passion when other people started recording his songs. Tony Arata has had 4 big old number ones. Here I Am, Patti Loveless, one of our favorite female singers in the history of music. Here I Am, I'm Holding My Own, Leroy Parnell. And Dreaming with My Eyes Open by Clay Walker. Besides those artists, he's had cuts by Bonnie Raitt, Emmylou, of course, Trisha Yearwood, Delbert McClinton, Soulful Man, Don Williams, Reba, and Tony told me tonight that he finally achieved cool guy status with his kids when Dolly Parton recorded one of his songs. So he's had the biggest of the big, the best of the best record his songs, and including a fella from Oklahoma named Garth Brooks, who has recorded 8 of Tony's songs, and especially one that you probably know him best for. That was his 4th number 1 hit. It won the ACM Song of the Year award when it came out. Probably led the way, Tony, to you getting into the Hall of Fame, I'd say, Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2012. That song, The Dance. Yeah, let's hear it. Great song. So, Tony has come out, also is emerging from this daggum hibernation we've all been in, and he's happy to be here, and we're real happy to see him, to have him here. And I think he's got a surprise or two for you tonight, so you'll be glad you came. How about a big round for Tony Arata? Tony, welcome.
One of the best people I've ever known, Mr. Dan Keene right there. Thank you very much, sir. Wow. Thank you all so very much for having me and for inviting me out this evening. This is a first on many occasions for me. This is probably the first time I've ever played a show where I didn't have an outstanding tab already. So this is really cool. Yeah, last year was kind of hard, to say the least. I was looking forward to the cicadas, to be honest with you, just for something to do. Well, these are some songs I've written over the years. Some of them I hope you know, some of them you may not, but I'm very grateful to have been in Nashville now for almost 35 years. And they haven't run us off yet. So I figured the best place to start is at the beginning. I've climbed mountains that I thought I'd never climb. I've had my moments in the sun from time to time. Fellow travelers, I know I've helped a few. I guess I've done the best that I can do. But the one thing that I had no hand in doing will always be the finest thing that I've ever done. No gift I gave, just one forever given to me. It was a day that I was born my mother's son. I learned to stand up tall, standing there beside her. She never bent, no matter how this world denied her. And I learned how to handle storms that come by the grace of being born my mother's son. And how I depended on knowing in her eyes I could do no wrong. Oh, but the one thing that I had no hand in doing to this very day is the finest thing that I've ever done. No gift I gave, just one forever given to me. It was a day that I was born my mother's son. Yeah, the one thing that I had no hand in doing will always be the finest thing that I've ever done. No gift I gave, just one forever given to me. It was a day that I was born my mother's son. Thank you very much. My mama thought everything I ever wrote was the greatest song that had ever been written. That's not necessarily who you need to play songs for. But I can tell you this much, if my mama were here tonight, that would be the greatest song ever written, I can assure you. Another woman that's been a very inspiring force in my life is a young gal from the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Her name is Patty Loveless. And she's been very kind over the years to do quite a few songs, including this one. It's a song called Here I Am that when I first heard her do it, I'll tell you how long ago it was and how old I am. They gave it to me on a cassette. And I rode around in my truck and listened to it I don't know how many times. Song called Here I Am. Don't do it, darling. Don't you dare look in there. You said you didn't want to see me, but you've been looking for me everywhere. You know that you're gonna find me if you keep on drinking fast. 'Cause honey, I'm right there waiting on you at the bottom of your glass. And here I am. Here I am. I'm in the bourbon and the water that burn you just like a brand. Here I am. It ain't working, darling. 'Cause as hard as you may try, you keep hearing those words you told me in every man's goodbye. You know that you're just one step from another one being gone. I know I've seen them all unravel, 'cause I've been watching you all along. And here I am. Here I am. I'm in every lie you're hearing that burn you just like a brand. Here I am. Darling, I got over you passing me over a long, long time ago. And my pride was so much stronger when I was younger. Now I would rather have you know that here I am. Here I am. And I still carry that flame for you, burning me like a brand. Here I am. Hey. Thank y'all very much. Thank you. I believe y'all had another performer out here by the name of Pat Alger. Pat is one of my oldest friends here in this town. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah. When I first moved to town, when Jamie and I first got here, like I said, Pat was one of the first people I met, and Pat was already a well-established artist. He was actually opening for the Everly Brothers and had cuts by Brenda Lee and Crystal Gale and Kathy Mattea. So he was well on his way to being somebody. And he took me under his wing as his little brother, as he calls him. And so he had a little combo that he played every Tuesday night at this club here in town called Douglas Corner. And it was a rocking little outfit, I have to tell you. Great bass player, drummer, my buddy Jelly Roll Johnson on the harmonica. And they had this young lady in the group who sang background. She was a student at Belmont. Her name was Tricia Yearwood. And so during the course of the night, I opened the shows, and then Pat and the band would come on, and during the course of the night, they'd let Tricia sing a few songs. And Pat and I started noticing the crowds getting bigger on Tuesday nights. And one Tuesday night, everybody that was anybody in Nashville was at Douglas Corner. You couldn't fall over if you passed out. There were so many people there. And I remember sitting at the back of the bar, and I nudged old Pat and I said, "Hey man, this is really catching on." And he said, "They ain't here to hear us, little brother." And sure enough, Tricia Yearwood got signed to MCA Records, and the following Tuesday, you could have swung a dead giraffe around in Douglas Corner and not hit a soul. So, welcome to Nashville. But she's one of the best singers that ever came down down the road, and she's also one of the best people I've ever met. She's from my home state of Georgia, Miss Tricia Yearwood. I wrote this song with a buddy of mine, Mr. Gene Nelson, who probably one of the best guitar players I've ever heard in my life. And Tricia, of course, sings better than anybody. And I can't play it like Gene, and I can't sing it like Tricia. So with an introduction like that, how could you not be looking forward to hearing this one? You know, I'd like to write a song, a sweet and simple thing. And if I do it right, it'd be the only one I'd sing. For it would bring me everything I need. It'd be a song that I could sing you back to me. There must be a million words, and all I have to do is lay my heart upon those rare and magic few. Why can't it be just as simple as it seems? Just a song that I could sing you back to me. I would sing you back, I'd bring you back. With a miracle of page and pen, you would hear it and be here again. And always and forever there would always be that song that I could sing you back to me. I would sing you back, I'd bring you back. With a miracle of page and pen, you would hear it and be here again. And always and forever there would always be that song that I could sing you back and bring you back with just a song I could sing you back to me. Thank y'all. Y'all are so nice. I'm available tomorrow night too. I don't know what y'all are doing. This is so wonderful. Haven't seen people in so long. I told Bill, please somebody tell me if I'm facing the wrong way, because it's been a while. It's been a while. My wife Jamie and I, let's get this straight real quick. I'd have never made it to Nashville, Tennessee. I'd have never been standing here playing for you kind people if it had not been for my wife Jamie. She literally called my bluff. We were just married 2 years, and I was playing in a band in Savannah, Georgia, well actually Thunderbolt, Georgia. And I came home from band practice, and Jamie had given away our apartment, and our landlord was there to look at the place. He said, yeah, your wife called and said she gave 30 days notice she's moving to Nashville. So I asked the next logical question. I said, did she mention anything about taking me? So 30 days later, that was as much planning as went into it. We were Nashvillians. That was in October of 1986. And we've been together for 41 years. So, yeah. And one of the things that has endeared me to her from day one is her ability to make me laugh. I love her so. Real quick, the other morning I woke up and I'd fallen asleep in my chair out in the den. And I guess I'd slept on my arm wrong or something. And my arm was just completely numb. I don't know if I pinched a nerve or what. The first fear that ever runs through my mind is, can I play my guitar at all? Not that I can play to begin with, but you know, at least as well as I used to. So I picked it up and I couldn't even make a chord. And I said, I got to go to bed. I'm just going to hope that this is better in the morning. So when I woke up, we're laying there in bed, and Jamie looks at me and she goes, good morning. I said, good morning. She said, how are you? I said, I'm not good at all. I said, I don't know what happened. I said, something's wrong with my left arm. I can't play my guitar. There's this little pause, and then she said, can you still make coffee? She's the difference between a day that ain't half bad and that stone cold blue ribbon single best one you ever had. And I'm telling anybody here who might want to listen, she's the difference between feeling sorry for yourself and feeling like you just wouldn't want to be nobody else. Do you feel right bad for anyone who isn't? She's the difference. I tell you, she's a difference, man. Now in everything I do, I went from couldn't win, I just can't lose. Her love got me thinking about the sweet distinction between being in a rut, being in a groove. I went from nothing all the way to nothing missing. And brother, she's a difference. She's a difference. She's why everything has changed. And when I'm in her company, man, this old life ain't the same. It's bigger, better, sweeter, more like living. She's a difference. Difference in everything I do. I went from couldn't win, I just can't lose. Her love got me thinking about the sweet distinction between being in a rut, being in a groove. I went from nothing all the way to nothing missing. She's a difference. She's a difference. She's a difference. Thank y'all. Yeah, I come from South Georgia. My oldest sister, Mickey, lives out in the country, out in Clio. And there really is no way to get there except back roads. And every time I go home to visit her, I take the Clio-Kildare Road out in the middle of nowhere. And I know I'm going to be all alone because there ain't no cell service. So it's really nice. And I pass this little church every time on my way out to see my sister. And it sits on this little spit of land. But they always have this big marquee, this lit up marquee sign that they park out in the front of the church, and there's always a message on it that always gets me. It may be something as simple yet profound as God is always with you, and I can agree with that. And then one time I rode by, and it was in the heat of August, which in South Georgia takes on a whole new meaning. I mean, there's hot, and then there's South Georgia. And I rode by, and it said, it's hot outside. Come on in, we're prayer conditioned. And I said, well, I can get behind that too. And then on one of my last visits, there was a sign and it really hit me. It said, forget trying to throw in your 2 cents. Try throwing out 2 words. I'm sorry. And I went, okay. That stuck with me. And by the time I got back to Nashville, I had written this little song. A single auburn ray, signal night had given way, and a new day had arrived. But the fight still lingered on. Lord, it should have long been dead and gone, but it was being kept alive by a fool who thinks he knows it all, but who isn't even smart enough to realize that if all he wants is the last words, maybe once, make those last words, I apologize. She has really come off the track. She ain't holding nothing back. She won't let nothing go. She won't bend and she won't move. I wonder what she hopes to prove when all she's got left to show is a house and home divided and 2 hearts all but decided on their goodbyes. Oh, if all she wants is the last word, why not once make the last words, I apologize. There's a world of angry words and things we only say so we can hurt the other side. Maybe every now and then we might think of giving in. Nope, that's just one thing a fool will never try. But if all you want is the last word, maybe once, make the last word. Hey, if all you want is the last word, why not once make those last words? I apologize. Thank y'all. You're very kind. There's a gentleman here who I've known for a long time. I've known his work. Really just met him for the first time tonight. There's a wonderful story about how worlds collide. I'm going to share with you here in just a second. Blair Masters, where are you? Yes, sir. A good man and a great piano player, works with some kid named Garth Brooks. While Blair's coming up here, Mr. Blair Masters right here. While he's getting situated, I got to tell you how this all works. So Bill Deaton, who I believe y'all know, and who is responsible for this and puts all this together. Thank you so much for having me, Bill. Bill and I go way, way back to like 81, 82, somewhere like that. And Bill always has been a great engineer. And I was on MCA Records briefly. MCA didn't know that, but I was on their label for a while, and the only album I ever got to cut for MCA, Bill Deaton was the engineer on that record. And that's how we became friends. And the funny thing about it is that one of the songs, well, it was the only single that they released off the record, was a song called, that Garth wound up doing, called Same Old Story. Same old story, everybody knows. Well, that album must have sold, I don't know, 11, 12 copies. But that's how things happen, is because when I first met Garth Brooks, that album he had a copy of that album. And one of the first things he ever said to me was, sing that little bit that I just sang back to you. And I went, wow, you've got one of those 12 albums. But then, how fortunes change, that song wound up on No Fences, his second album, which sold slightly more than 11 copies. So, and then, you fast forward even further, and here's this young man, Mr. Blair Masters, is going to help me out with this song, another song that Garth cut, called The Change, that I think is somewhat still appropriate today. One hand reaches out and pulls a lost soul from home, while 1,000 more go unspoken for. And they say, what good have you done by saving just this one? It's like whispering a prayer in the fury of a storm, and I hear 'em saying, you ain't gonna change things, and no matter what you do, it'll be the same thing. But it ain't this world that I am changing. You see, I do this so this world we know never changes me. One heart still believes, love and mercy still exist, while the hatreds rage, and so many say, they say love is all but pointless in madness such as this. Man, that's like trying to stop a fire with the moisture from a kiss. And I hear 'em saying, you ain't gonna change things, and no matter what you do, it'll be the same thing. But it ain't this world that I am changing. You see, I do this so this world we know never changes me. As long as one heart still holds on, hope is never really gone. And I hear them saying, you ain't gonna change things, and no matter what you do, it'll be the same thing. But it ain't this world that I am changing. You see, I do this so this world we know never changes me. Mr. Blair Masters. He'll be back to help me out with something else because that's the best sounding guitar I've ever heard right there. I got to get me one of those. Wow. My mama begged me to play the piano. But no. But my mom and daddy always had a radio on in the house. And I was probably 7 or 8 years old when I first heard songs like Dang Me and King of the Road, Chug-a-Lug, Chug-a-Lug. Roger Miller, one of my heroes. I actually had a chance to meet the great Roger Miller many years later. I had a chance to meet him. I rode up with him in an elevator at an award show here in Nashville. And when he got off, I remember thinking, that boy right there can write a song about anything at any time, any day of the week. Just give him a topic, he'll write it. And I said, well, why don't you try that, Tony? So I did. I said, whatever I wake up and think about, that's what I'm going to write the song about. And so when I woke up the next day, picked up my guitar, the first thing that came to my head was a line. And I ain't talking about a line of poetry. I'm not talking about a line from a song. I'm talking about a line, like X, Y, A, B. And then I started thinking, I said, man, that may not be the best thing for you. Because I didn't flunk geometry once, I flunked it twice. So I said, well, what the heck? I said, what would Roger Miller do? Roger would write the song. So I did. Drawn by the foot of a bully in the neighborhood was a line in the dirt in between where me and him stood. Now he was mumbling something about it, but the words got lost. 'Cause the lights went out about the time that I stepped across. I didn't get it then, don't get it now. Never made much sense. Not to me somehow. One very long, one very wide. It was hill and gone, gone, gone to the other side. And there was a line that we made with a paper and pen. We both signed it and the judge said we were now kin. We stayed together until she went and left me alone. And somehow that line we signed gave her all I owned. I didn't get it then, don't get it now. Never made much sense, not to me somehow. One very long, one very wide. But it was hell and gone, gone, gone to the other side. You know, now there ain't a day that goes by that I don't dedicate a little time dwelling on the fact it ain't no trouble at all getting over the line. But it's another story on the getting back. Now we were seated behind this line of velvet rope. They were shoveling dirt all the while that the preacher spoke. Now he was talking about crossing over and of being gone. I was never so glad to know which side I was on. And I got it then, and I get it now. And it all makes sense, at least to me somehow. One very long, one very wide. But it was hill and gone, gone, gone to the other side. Yeah, gone, gone, gone to the other side. God bless Roger Miller. They called him the king of Fort Worth, Texas. And when Jamie and I first moved to town, I would have sworn everybody was from Texas. It seemed like everybody I met was from the Lone Star State. And I'll tell you one thing about those Texans. They love them some Texas. And then I went on this little run where it seemed like I was getting a lot of cuts by a lot of Texans. Don Williams and Clay Walker and Leroy Parnell and Delbert McClinton and this young man, Hal Ketchum, who did this next song. When all that happened, you know what? I started thinking, I love me some Texas too. But the last year was brutal. We lost a lot of wonderful souls, including the young man who sung this song, Mr. Hal Ketchum. Many more miles were behind him than he had left to go. He was closing in upon that last one that we all must walk alone. That's the one across the end of the line. So we held on and we told stories of the good and bad and all, of the power and the glory, and those lonely days that crawl. And we prayed heaven will hold true love and a satisfied mind. He said, I ain't afraid of dying, 'cause I know there's something worse. Like when you have to see your reason for living go first and you get left behind. Some can't think of nothing better than to live this life forever. I never wanted no more than was mine. Then let me lay down someday and go home with a satisfied mind. He said, don't look into the darkness if you want to see true black. Look into a morning's brightness when love ain't coming back, and you will find right there the darkness that blinds. And don't think wealth is ever having all you want all to yourself, 'cause it is found when you were given what you have to someone else. 'Cause the only difference in the rich and the poor is a satisfied mind. And one light began to fade as one grew brighter. And he said, I ain't afraid of dying, 'cause I know there's something worse. Like when you have to see your reason for living go first and you get left behind. Some can't think of nothing better than to live this life forever. I never wanted no more than was mine. Then let me lay down someday and go home. Just wanna lay down some sweet day and go home with a satisfied mind. Y'all have been so kind. I really appreciate it. I'm going to take this all in for just a minute, if you don't mind. What a beautiful place to get to play. And thank y'all so very much for being out this evening. I ain't done yet. You ain't getting rid of me that easy, but hold on. I just had to say thank you. I sincerely appreciate y'all being out. I've got a new CD out. That was funny because that's what I did during the COVID, as they called it. I put together a CD, and I think it looks pretty good. And that's what a lot of people said. They said, yeah, it looks really good. Because ain't nobody got a CD player anymore. So I'm glad it looks all right, because that's about all you can do with it, is just look at it. Always ahead of the curve, that's me. But anyway, if you're interested in any music, I actually have a website now. I didn't build it. I don't even know how to get to it. But I have one. It's called TonyArata.com. So anyway, the CD's there, and if you want one, let me know. I'll send you one. I'll sign it, make it out to anybody you want. All the rest of these songs are there too. This internet's going to catch on, trust me. So, hello. Oh. Had this been an actual emergency, I can break it. Just give me a few minutes, I can break it. So this is the title track of the album. It's called Getting Older. It was inspired, real quick story. I was in a store. I was going to buy a 6-pack of beer for a friend. And I got up to the counter, and there was a sign, and it said, "You must be born on this date to buy beer in Tennessee." And I remember looking at that and thinking, wow, I was old on that day. Well, I wish I knew just half the things I used to swear to everyone I did. With that cheap veneer of I ain't afraid of nothing that behind us safely hid. Until loneliness and failure and true sorrow helped to peel layer after layer off this hard shell to reveal some humility I found to get you places you can't get in being bold. Wiser I don't know about, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting older. Well, I've run my mouth so much, hell, I can't hardly take my own voice anymore. It all sounds so familiar, like I've heard it all 1,000 times before. But even after all my words and all my rambling on, every time I think about some blessed loved one that is gone, man, I could fill 1,000,000 pages with 1,000,000 things that I wish to God I'd told them. Wiser I don't know about, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting older. Well, it'll drop you where you're standing, son, when you grab on to that one paralyzing fact. There are probably less miles waiting down the road than there are those you can't have back. So you try to neutralize that fear by making solemn vows. You start swearing this, pledging that. For all I know, it just comes down to trying to make the most out of whatever little bit that you're still holding. and leave the rest where it already is, back over your shoulder, and just be forever grateful for the chance of getting older. Wow, thank you. I'll do a couple more songs if you don't mind. I got to do this one. This is what I did when I wasn't doing that CD. What's that now? Making coffee? Yeah. I'll tell you the hardest part about last year was it was like a light switch had been flicked. And everything I knew and had been doing for the last 15 years was just gone. It just stopped. And I came to a real realization that people don't do necessarily what they do for a living. They do it because that's what makes a life worth living. And I missed the characters that were out there on the road. I'd get in my truck and I'd go somewhere and play, and invariably I would meet some people that you're only going to meet if you're willing to get in your car and go somewhere. I was playing a show out in Nebraska. I drove to Nebraska. Nobody drives to Nebraska. It's a long way on a map. And but anyway, there I was out in the middle of nowhere. Honest to goodness, that beautiful song that Mark sang about 7 Mile Road, heck, Nebraska, you can see like a train 100 miles away. And I remember pulling up the house and going, I was with my buddy Pete Wosner, who plays piano for Vince Gill. And I said, Pete, who's going to be here? And Pete said, well, it ain't like there's any competition. So sure enough, there were people there that night. But what made the whole trip worthwhile was the guy who put the show on. His name was Jed. And Jed came up, me and Pete did our little sound check, and he had a little place for us, a green room as he called it. And Jed came back to the green room and he said, I was watching you boys do your sound test out there. And he said, it's obvious y'all have found your passion in life. And he said, I think that's important for a man to find his passion in life. And there was this awkward silence. And I took the bait and I jumped in. I went, well, Jed, thank you. What's your passion? And without hesitation, he looked at me and he said, drywall. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You could sit around and smoke hash all day. You ain't going to think of that one. And that's what I missed. And that's what this song is about. It found me on a highway up in southern Ohio, halfway between Cincy and the capital town. In the flash of a moment, when suddenly you know everywhere that you have come from and everywhere you were bound. And it rolled over me just like a wind. I had my reason to be there and then. I've never felt nothing like it, but I've carried it close ever since. If I'm never so free again, from Conroe to Linden and through all of Alabama, Protovent to Gloucester and sometimes big city bound. Bristol to Bethlehem and Nashville, Atlanta, and down in the borough where my best friends were found, where East 80 finally ends, and I saw my whole life begin. And the sound of that big water sang me a welcome back home hymn. If I'm never so free again, most of these years I've had a pen in my hand and made it up as I stumbled along, 'cause I was always just hoping that my name would be called to sing somebody a song. And not for some brilliance I thought could be found by anyone listening to me. No, it was all for this peace that I've missed like a friend, just to sit in y'all's sweet company. I guess I didn't know better, that I'd never know better, so I sang a little louder and I rode every ride. When you're just fool enough to think this all lasts forever, you don't hold nothing back for life's steep other side. So I smile as I drank it all in, every drop of this goodness and sin. I'll hope a heart full of memories will beat a head full of dreams in the end. If I'm never so free again, if I'm never so free again. It found me on a highway up in southern Ohio, halfway between Cincy and the capital town. Blair, you got one more in you? This song was the second song I wrote when I moved to Nashville. And I wound up doing it in an early show at the Bluebird with this gentleman that I just met from Oklahoma named Garth Brooks. And here's what we had going on. We were doing the early show at the Bluebird on a Tuesday night, I think it was, or Wednesday night. Actually, Wednesday late afternoon is when it was. There was nobody there. And but I had just written this, and when I played it, Garth said if he ever got a record deal, he said, man, I'm going to do that song. And I went, well, that just means the world to me, because to have one of your peers like something you wrote. But then I got to thinking, I said, Garth was doing construction work and selling boots at the time, and I was loading trucks at UPS. So obviously we had the music business right where we wanted it. And it was just, we were right on the cusp of something great. But anyway, about 3 years from that night, he got signed to Capitol Records and called for a copy of the song. He said, is it still available? And I said, it sure is. So to the folks who played before me this evening, all great songwriters, I want to tell you this. The greatest thing that ever happened to me as a songwriter was to be turned down for 3 years and to be rejected at every single turn, because what happened is it wound up with a gentleman who got it in the first place and who always wanted to do it. And we were all prepared to see him on Saturday night at the Nissan Stadium. I took my whole family down there. And I kept watching that stadium fill up 70,000 people, and I didn't know how Garth would make his entrance. I've seen the boy jump out of a piano. I've seen him shoot out of a cannon. I've seen him fly around the Astrodome. But I want to tell you, what it'll always be to me is the same fellow that I met at Douglas Corner that night. He was a young man sitting on a bar stool with a song in his heart, and a song he was proud of that he had just written, and he did it, and that's what it'll always be to me. And I can't give anybody a higher credit than to tell them I think of them as a fellow troubadour and a fellow songwriter. So thank you so much to Garth Brooks for doing this. My thanks, I never even, when I handed this song in, there was no piano. So when I heard it for the first time, I didn't think it was my song. Bobby Woods played a great piano intro on it, and I'm going to get Blair to help me out with it this evening. Y'all have been so wonderful. I'm going to dedicate this song to a friend of mine who's here tonight that I met via another one of those trips out there to Texas. I met her brother. Miss Donna Choate is here this evening, and this is for her. Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared neath the stars above, when for a moment all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Holding you, now I heard everything. For a moment, there wasn't I the king. But if I'd only known how that king would fall, ain't I who's to say? You know I might have changed it all. So now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Y'all have been so very kind this evening. I cannot thank you enough. I sincerely appreciate it. Thanks to everyone here at United First for having me. God bless y'all, everyone. Thank you, Bill Deaton. Thank y'all very much.
Oh my goodness. Tony Arata. Larry Masters, thank you, buddy, for coming out to sit in with a friend here. You know, there are nuances in life that matter, and about music, don't go away too quick here, pal. You hear, we hear a lot of ditties all day long. Nice songs are fun, and you sing along with them, whatever. Tonight, one after another, we heard songs, if you know what I'm saying. Whole night full of songs. Thank you. Your depth and your heart and depth, just amazing. So glad we're all back out here to do this together, you know.
I'll tell you, as long as they'll have us, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, thank you, Tony Arata. Of course. I love you too. Tony Arata. Songwriters Hall of Fame, Tony Arata. Wow. Thank you. Hope you could feel the appreciation from Tony and the writers for you guys being here tonight. They loved being out here with you, and we really appreciate it. It's fun to put this on for you. We've got another one coming next month, first Tuesday of every month. I think in September that's going to be the 7th, I believe. So we will see. There's the slide for it. Michael Farron's going to come play for us, so that'll be something. Yeah, that should be really good. So hey, be good to each other. Be kind. Be patient, and we'll see you in a month's time. God bless. Bye.